Siemka, z tej strony Prosold, a to jest kolejny odcinek z Vampyr. Jak nie pamiętacie, byliśmy w teatrze Doris Fletcher. Przedtem zwiedziliśmy też sobie pierwsze źródło infekcji. Przed pierwszym jeszcze robiliśmy drugie. Czyli tak troszeczkę, powiedzmy, nie po kolei. Jeśli chodzi o notatnik Ashera Toldry, ja nie mogę tam wejść, ponieważ próbowałem już. Więc ja nie będę tracił czasu.
Turn around, sir.
No właśnie, idę turn around, downie. Dobra. Idziemy do Redgrave'a. Ogólnie chciałbym... Kurde, właśnie tutaj się martwię, że tutaj wszyscy mi jeszcze bardziej zachorują. Lady Ashbury? Co ty tu robisz?
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Okej. Czy ona nie chce ze mną rozmawiać?
I must admit the Guard of Prewen impressed me. They must have spent years preparing their plan.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Have a drink and enjoy this night, for it could be our last.
Jest Lord Redgrave.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then?
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't
Są
worry.
promocje znowu na
Aloysius has had many years to
Days Gone
prepare
za
himself.
80 zł.
He has studied our kind for decades.
Ale to kusi.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
No, czyli do wejścia do Temple Church.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
Tak,
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall, and yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
Okej. Już, że już sobie odblokowałem normalne wejście, bo chyba bym musiał iść przez kanały, nie? Dobrze, że właśnie najpierw wziąłem się za rozglądanie. W fabule mam troszeczkę tak lżej, nie powiem, że nie.
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Aha. Dobra. Zobaczmy, czy ja mogę wrócić znowu do teatru Doris Fletcher. Serio, tyle się męczę z tym Asherem Tawdry.
Step away, sir.
Dobra, idę. Oj, to nie tu. To jest Whitechapel. Tu? Temple Gardens w prawo. O Boże. No wypadł, ty kupo gówna. Czy to na pewno tu? Tak. Temple Church. Tak to bym musiał chyba... możliwe, że ja zrobiłem bossa przed tym wszystkim.
I cannot enter.
Popytaj mieszkańców West Endu o Aloysius'a Dawson'a. Dobra.
Good evening, Miss Price.
You know you can call me Carolyn, my dear doctor. It's
Co ty w
always...
ogóle miałeś tutaj? Nic ciekawego, kto by się spodziewał.
Good evening, Miss...
You know...
Do you know Aloysius Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash. Since then, the remaining twin has turned into a heartless tycoon.
Jego brat bliźniak zginął w wypadku lotniczym.
Goodbye.
Dr.
Co coś
Reed,
wiesz?
I am glad to see you again.
Good morning.
Good evening.
My...
Have you ever met the famous...
Yes, a very strange man. Not very nice.
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books, and then laughed at what we showed him.
Goodbye, Carol.
Oh, I am sorry,
Boję się, że do przemienienia Aloysius'a będę potrzebował pedeków, więc dlatego nie będę się na razie ulepszał.
Doctor?
What are you investigating, exactly?
Well, my 2 missing persons cases have been solved. By you, it seems. Are you just that lucky? Or do you know something I don't?
I was lucky enough to find them both while conducting my investigation.
A w sumie to tak, bez dowodów
Why do I
doszedłem do
still
nich.
have the feeling that you're hiding something? What about the abductor? Was it the same person?
I don't think so. You had better interview Miss Teasdale and Mr. Kimura on that matter. All I did was to lead them safely home.
Jesteś chujowym detektywem, naprawdę.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it. With just one phone call.
Aha.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ja pierdolę, miałem iść przecież po notatnik Ashera. Będzie tutaj? I pójdę... nie.
Over there! There's one of them vermin!
O, skale przyszły. Idzie się z tamtym, nie ze mną. O Boże, to jest ślepa uliczka. A, bo to jest ogólnie moja kryjówka. Ej, wypadł stąd! Tu macie kolejnego. To tutaj? Tak, i w prawo. A, no tak, Boże, przecież przyszedłem. Jak ja mogłem zapomnieć takiej drogi? Naprawdę nie ogarniam tego. Nie. To jest...
It's locked, all
dalej
right.
zamknięte, no cholera jasna. Dobra, słuchajcie, zaraz do was wracam. Dobra, słuchajcie, jestem z powrotem. Popytam się jeszcze mieszkańców. Bo pamiętam, że przy tamtym wyborze z Seanem... przy tym wyborze z Seanem Hoptonem też można było coś na podstawie wskazówek ogarnąć.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello.
What can you...
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many years.
No,
Goodbye for...
Dużo mi nie powiedziałeś, typie. Chodźmy może do Ashera Toltri, bo przecież w sumie on jest takim medium. Może on coś będzie wiedział. Tutaj było wejście. Tutaj jakaś zagadka dalej jest. Będą się to ogarnąć.
Good evening, Jonathan Reed.
Can you read...
Put the money on the table, then.
Perhaps later. Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
Aloysius Dawson. Dobra, mamy ostatnią wskazówkę. Aloysius Dawson należał do hermetycznego zakonu Złotego Brzasku do 1900 roku. Dobra. Czyli już chyba zrobiliśmy to. Ej, czekajcie. Tam coś jest za tamtą ścianą. Spróbujmy tu. Znowu tu. Znowu tu. Znowu tu. Uja. Do dupy. Może ja musimy siedzieć dłużej na tych płytkach. Zresztą, i tak bym pewnie nie odgadł. Mam już 5000. Ale wiecie co, ja chyba nie będę go przemieniał. Jeśli będzie na przykład opcja jakaś inna. Pomyślę zresztą, jakie w ogóle będą tam wybory. Może z Aloysiusem dojdziemy do jakiegoś wniosku czy coś. Nie wiem, nie mam pojęcia. Ale tak średnio bym chciał go przemienić. Wejść do rezydencji Aloysiusa Dawsona. Tylko gdzie ta jego posiadłość teraz jest? Bo tu jest pozamykane. Wszystko jak zawsze. Tylko niebogaty jest w chuj.
It's locked, all right.
Too many murders to investigate them all, but they will not be forgotten.
Tu już są ludzie z Priwen. No i co ja mam zrobić? Zniknął mi cel i gra szczęśliwa. Kurde, już naboi nie mam. Ale tak tym bardziej. Wszystko na Doris chyba wystrzelałem. Fuck, nie tutaj. O, krew.
I can't believe I'm doing this. I have this thirst for blood.
Gdzie jest ta rezydencja? Ona jest pewnie tutaj, ale ja mam zamknięte drzwi. Co ja mam robić? Jezus, zabadziewie. Dobra, słuchajcie, zaraz do was wracam. Dobra, słuchajcie, jestem z powrotem. Tutaj się pobiłem z tymi typami. Może w sumie to ich zabiłem, a nie pobiłem. I to jest tak. To jest chyba kryjówka Aloysius'a. W ogóle wymyślił takie imię. Aloysius. Kurczę. Rozejrzmy się, jak to nam nie przystało. Ciemną uliczkę. Nie, bo to nic nie ma. Żadnych śmietników. Wchodzimy. Jestem głodny. Jezu. Mógłbym zestawić lasagne. Co tym cięciem mi się akurat zrobiło. Po wyborze z Aloysius'em będziemy już kończyć. Chyba. Zobaczymy.
Dawson's mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains. Am I ready to make a dying man my progeny?
Chwila. Zanim my do niego pójdziemy, to trzeba wszystko przeszukać, Jonathan. Trzeba go okraść ze wszystkiego. Artykuł prasowy. Egzekucja Johna Francisa Sparrowa. John Francis Sparrow, 21 lat, został dziś rano powieszony w więzieniu w Pentonville. Pana Sparrowa skazano na śmierć za zabójstwo swojej siostry Aleksandry Sparrow. Mężczyzna do ostatniej chwili twierdził, że jest niewinny, choć oskarżyciele nigdy nie przedstawili przed sądem dowodów jego obecności na miejscu zbrodni. Usłyszał wyrok i egzekucja się dokonała. Scotland Yard nie zgodził się ponownie rozpatrzyć sprawy mimo licznych nieścisłości w ustalonym łańcuchu zdarzeń, które miały doprowadzić do śmierci panny Sparrow. Charles Albright, który prowadził śledztwo dla Scotland Yardu, odmówił odpowiedzi na nasze pytania, jednak 3 tygodnie temu został zdegradowany. Doprawdy dziwna to nagroda za skuteczne poprowadzone śledztwo. Clayton Darby.
Reduced in rank for falsely accusing a man of murder. I wonder what Inspector Albright thinks about his punishment.
Charles Albright. Już mi się to kojarzy. Dobra, czyli ta jedna wskazówka pewnie jest brakująca. Ale widzę, że jeszcze z tymi bliźniakami mamy jakąś wskazówkę. Calhoun Russell. Karina Below, tak samo. Tutaj jeszcze coś z Venus i Clarence'em. Może muszę z nią pogadać po prostu. Czyli na pewno w West Endzie będę musiał poszukać jakichś wskazówek. Jeszcze notatki trzeba ogarnąć. Jeszcze jest dużo takich pobocznych rzeczy, które ja potrzebuję, żeby mieć pewność, że zrobię tą grę na 100%. Nic tu się nie wyróżnia. Ładny obraz. Ładne szafki, szuflady. Safe.
It's locked.
W ogóle gdzie jest Aloysius? W ogóle go nie widzę.
It's locked, all right.
Nie widzę. Gdzie? A, dobra, tu jest.
Finally you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, yes. Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Dziwne w ogóle, że Aloysius
Very
jest
well.
filarem, a nie na przykład Lord Redgrave.
But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all,
Aha.
I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
Nie chcę go przemieniać.
Believe me, there is a huge difference between reading about vampires and waking up as one. I learned that myself the hard way.
Oh my God, man, stop your whining. I don't have time for your pointless jibber-jabber.
Przejdźmy do rzeczy, wykrzyknik nie.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I'm rich, Dr. Reed, and powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege or some such drivel. You can be assured
Suzerenem?
of that.
Nie wiem, co to znaczy,
Let's
ale
move
okej.
on then.
Please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed, and I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London, I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
By doing so, you will also create two separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
Let me guess.
To tak jakby
You
w
mean to
Polsce
isolate
teraz z
the
koronawirusem zrobili coś takiego.
These are for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
Chociaż wiecie, niby w Anglii można to zrobić łatwiej, bo wiecie, to jest wyspa. Jeśli nawet to nikt nie ucieknie. Chyba, nie. Zresztą, nie wiem jak on by to zrobił.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. But I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
What if a new outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated as soon as they are spotted.
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last! All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
To chyba będzie najlepsze. Tak mi się wydaje. Nie to, że Może i mnie wyjebią z tego Askalonu. Tak mi się wydaje, że mnie wyjebią. Albo nie wiem. Chyba to bym zrobił z hipnotyzowaniem. Kurde, no nie mam pojęcia.
Listen to me, Aloysius Dawson. You will forget your fear of dying, for it has poisoned your mind and made you bitter and ruthless since the death of your twin brother.
You don't understand. Death is oblivion, the eternal void. I know there's nothing there. I saw it in Robert's empty eyes. I saw myself in that coffin.
Death is painful for those who remain, not for those who have passed. All that occult gibberish you filled your head with has made you forget this simple truth.
No! Death will not claim me. I have the power and the money. I've acquired the arcane knowledge needed. I believe there is magic, there are dark forces. You will provide me my extension.
Your ignorance makes you a fool. You have no idea. Look at me. Hunted like a beast, my family lost, cursed. I have not escaped death, I have become it.
No, there must be a way. I don't want to go like my brother did. I have money, lots of money.
Money won't ease your mind. I know you used to be a good and generous man, so I offer you the gift of peace, Aloysius. The tranquility of a true death.
I accept your offer, and I understand. No more fear, I will die a man of dignity, and a man at peace.
Nowi mieszkańcy dostępni do zabicia. Czyli co, on nie żyje? To nie mam pojęcia. Jak co z nim będzie? No, widzę, że Redgrave już czeka.
Is it done, Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn, as expected?
I'm afraid Mr. Dawson finally chose to embrace life and death as a mortal.
What do you mean?
He has overcome his fear of dying. I let him rest and wait for death to come.
What? This is unacceptable. Go back there and make him the powerful Ekon he's destined to be.
No, Lord Redgrave. As a doctor and as an immortal, I can't. If you wish to make him your progeny, then proceed on your own.
This is an outrage beyond words. This is betrayal, pure and simple. I should kill you on the spot. You swore on William Marshall's blood.
Well, get rid of me then.
From now on, you're an outcast. Banished. You are forbidden to ever appear in front of us again. Ascalon will smite you on sight, and your heart will be thrown to the rats.
I'll leave you then. Have fun with your puppets and shadow plays, Lord Redgrave.
Yes, go, traitor, and take that awful creature, that counterfeit of a woman I saw waiting for you, and be gone!
Wczytywanie. Od miecza giniesz. Ochroń szpital Pembroke. O kurde. Porozmawiaj ze starą Bridget. Oj, zrobiło się trochę... za mocno, że tak powiem. Trochę za mocno. A ja myślę, że to Lady Ashbury będzie na nas czekać, ale dobra.
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget. What are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
She came to us in the sewers in search of answers. Just as you did.
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating. It is no surprise that you like her. I like her too.
Lady Ashbury in the sewers? Now that's a sight I wish I'd seen.
She said she was your friend, and that she sought the identity of your maker. So I answered her questions.
Did anyone see you? It's a long way from the dock sewers, and hunters are patrolling the streets here.
Who said I took the streets? How do you think I survived for centuries in this city without ever being seen? I know all her secrets.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Wait, slow down. I need to ask you something.
I'm listening, but I do not have time to waste, so be quick.
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you? Far more so than the average Skull, if I may say.
Because I used to know him quite well, and he is afraid I may remember who he really is.
You're Elizabeth's informant. You're the one who told her about Lord Redgrave's lies regarding his lineage.
Yes, but my words were not meant to hurt or threaten. I simply told the story of the sewer skulls, and of so many other forgotten children.
Where is Lady Ashbury right now?
She said she will go home. She needed to speak with some old friends first, though. Do not worry, young Ekon. She is no fool, and just as strong as you.
How did Elizabeth find you?
She presented herself humbly at our gate and asked if we knew of any ancestral vampires hiding in London. She asked about Ascalon. She asked about many things.
What do you think of her?
Her soul is good, yet tainted with a deep sadness and the scars of ancient wounds.
Wyjdzie długi, jeśli wyjdzie długi odcinek, to przepraszam od razu.
For we have so much to dwell upon.
Pierdolą, nie wiem po co.
Why did she come to you?
I am old Bridget, the buried memory of the city. She sought the silent truths, truths I have kept hidden for so long.
No time to lose, then. I must go there right away.
I shall return to my den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
Yes. Tell her I love her.
Is this still
Tell
unknown to
her
her?
I love her.
Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
Dobra. Ale słuchajcie, już będę kończył. Muszę aż do Pembroke iść? Ale mam jeszcze dialog. z Lady Ashbury. Ale nie, w następnym odcinku zresztą zobaczymy, czy będę mógł znowu wejść do teatru, bo jak się okaże, że znowu nie będę mógł, no to zaczniemy sobie gdzieś indziej. No bo wiecie, po co mam przedłużać. Tak więc mam nadzieję, że odcinek mi się spodobał. Zapraszam do lajkowania, komentowania oraz subskrybowania. Na razie i cześć, do zobaczenia w następnym odcinku z Vampyr.